Okay, Ramblers, let's get rambling.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Dr. Nick.
It's Some Dumb Guy, and it's time for Some Dumb Buys. I got stuff. I got things. I almost got defeated by an envelope. Join me for an unenveloping, if you will. This thing, I didn't know how to cut it, where to cut it, and every little flap I uncovered just led to a dead end. I felt like I was in some kind of maze or something. So this is obviously the one we're going to dive into. I think this is just going to be an unboxing or an unenveloping of used movies this time around, because I was all over eBay and third-party sellers on Amazon for reasons I shall get into. And first and foremost, I had to get this one used because I don't think you can find it new anywhere, or at least if it is, it's cost prohibitive. This is an older Blu-ray release from 2017. The irony here is that it has both a newer Blu-ray release as well as a brand new 4K release from within the last 6 months or so. Both the 4K and the newer Blu-ray have been criticized all to hell for a very, very, very poor transfer, color timings, all kinds of stuff, which is really sad when you think of the future of physical media, that we're not actually getting better the way we should be. Why release an inferior product? So in seeking out reviews for this film that I wanted to own, I forewent the 4K, looked at the previous Blu-ray, both Paramount Present production titles, whatever you want to call them, by the way. They both had the same negative response. So I went back one step further and found that the first Blu-ray is actually fairly well regarded. So I got it, and this had to be added to my collection, my library, so to speak, because it is an Alfred Hitchcock film, and it is one of the more popular. To Catch a Thief, starring Cary Grant and Grace Kelly. I've never seen this one before. I've seen one Alfred Hitchcock film with Cary Grant, North by Northwest. Saw that for the first time last year in a theater. I've seen one Grace Kelly film, also Alfred Hitchcock title, to Rear Window, which I also saw in the theater for the very first time last year. So I kind of like it when third-party sellers do this and they get you a used copy. They put this thing in the case, surface level facing out. Why do I like that? Because you get to know right away the condition you're getting, and this thing looks immaculate, for which I am infinitely appreciative, because particularly on Amazon you don't always get the best descriptives of a disc's condition. I tend to go for the very goods and the like news when I'm buying used, even though you can get really good luck with someone who's just listing a product as good, because some sellers are honorable enough to downgrade their condition status in the sense that they'd rather err on the side of caution. I mean, aside from the usual very minor scuffing, friction from shelf wear that you get on a Blu-ray case, this thing looks immaculate. I'm glad to have it. And I forgot to mention this 1955, 106 minutes. I really need to do another, or a Hitchcock binge week for my Some Dumb Watch at some point, I think, huh? Oh, and while we're at it, say hi to Buddy, Some Dumb Kitty number 2. For those who have not met Buddy here on my channel, he is my rescue stray. I've been looking after him for about a year. He injured his leg in February, almost, going on 3 months now. I took him in. He'd been living in my catio for 2 months while I tended to him, took him to the vet, got him neutered, all that good stuff. Slowly acclimated him to home living, and we're making tremendous progress. He's now pretty much a regular in our household. Look at that. You see that right there? He had a happy foot. He knows he's being talked about. He's a good, gentle boy. Sugar just passed behind me. She's actually taking this a little harder than he is as far as adjusting goes. Although the whole reason he's here is because this little girl befriended him while he was living outside through the catio. And now that he's here, she all of a sudden is objecting to those presents, hisses and runs away, and she's being a little naughty, but there's no aggression or adversarial relationship. But now she's playing. So you get a little background noise. Let's move on. Oop, I pulled the bag. I made a noise. She ran off. It's okay for her to make noise. I can't do it myself. Wow. Revenge of the packaging today. This is interesting. Okay, well, you know what? I respect this and I appreciate it. It might be hard to open, but opening up a manila envelope to find an actual USPS box taped up for a little extra security, lined with bubble wrap on the inside. I can respect and appreciate that little extra mile to make sure that my already used merchandise arrives in my hands as nice as it can. So thank you to eBay and Amazon and other sellers of used product for going this route. Respect to you all. Okay. Buddy's looking over at Sugar, who's over here. It's funny, you know, she responds so poorly to him, and yet she's over here loving on the brush that I use because she doesn't like to be brushed, either regular or flea comb. He loves it. And I leave his brush sitting over here in between uses. She'll go over and rub all over it. I mean, obviously it's going to be completely coated with his scent, right? Silly kitty. Okay. Next up here. 3 more Blu-rays, 4 total for this enveloping. All blind buys. Yay. This is a classic. This had to be added to my library. It's got a great cast. It's a John Wayne and Kirk Douglas film. I bought this one used because to get it new is a minimum of, I think the cheapest price I saw it was $25, currently on Groove. I didn't feel inclined to pay that. I think it was comparable on Amazon. Found a really cost-effective eBay listing for this bad boy. This is the Western The War Wagon. This is one of, I believe, a small handful of, I think, 2 or 3 titles so far that I'm aware of that John Wayne and Kirk Douglas starred in together. I think at least one of the others is a war, military, naval type film. And once again, I've got an immaculate disc, even though it's, well, remember, if this is the style of label, this is one of the older varieties, although it's not an older style artwork insert. I didn't look up before I purchased to check reviews as far as the quality of the transfer. I need to start making that more of a habit for me, looking at that kind of thing to see how it's regarded. I guess this is probably the original cover art. This film, 1 hour and 41 minutes, dates back to 1967. Yeah, I like this. I'm looking forward to it. Next. Another Blu-ray. Now this one I got used. I didn't necessarily have to. The Blu-ray on Groove runs $8 to $9 range, I believe, regularly. And I actually got this from the same seller I got the War Wagon from. It was listed about the same price, within 50 cents or so. But this particular seller also had a save 20% if you buy 3 titles. So I opted to go used. I did. I got it. Starring John Wayne and Margaret and Rod Taylor. 1972. It's a more recent John Wayne Western. At 92 minutes, we have The Train Robbers. Dun, 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 you bad boys. Is he hunting the train robbers as a lawman, or he is one of them? I think probably the former will be the case, because John Wayne is typically the good guy, the hero of his films. The John Wayne library expands along with the Alfred Hitchcock. My last one here, also blind buy this one. Again, comparable price on Groove, but because of the same seller, the discount and everything else, I opted to go here to qualify for that discount. This is the 3rd title to get the 20% off. This is, here we go, Korean film from 2015 with an unknown runtime. I know nothing. I don't think I've even read the synopsis on this on Groove, but I might have at one point. This is Memories of the Sword. Revenge Will Come. I don't think I've seen a whole lot of Korean films of this particular magnitude. Usually this kind of thing I see more out of China or Japan. So this will be a nice little balance, I think, as far as spreading that kind of storyline around different historical perspectives from one nation to another. I think that'll be a good comparison, and I like continuing to build my Asian cinema library. So anyway, that's that. I've rambled far too long for 4 titles. Thank you again for joining me, and I shall see you on my next video. What did you think of my purchases? Fill the word box. Have anything to say about those? Have you picked up anything yourselves for your own library? Do you like watching a growing kitty? Word box. Goodbye from Buddy here, SumDub Kitty number 2. Goodbye from Sugar, SumDum Kitty number 1. And SumDum Guy number the only.
Alan.